Are we through with discussion on the first item on the agenda?
Well, one more comment real quick is this can be voted down as well as the sewer increase, and we can still pass the budget.
Correct.
Yes.
I just want to make sure everybody was aware of that.
Are we through with discussion? If so, then now we'll move for a motion to approve the.
I would be happy to make a motion if we accept the increase on agenda item number
Number one.
I'm sorry,
2-1.
2-1.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Mr. Bell? Mr. Stockton?
No.
Mr. Malone?
Aye.
Mr. Bell?
Aye.
Mrs. Mills?
No.
Mr. Garrett?
Aye.
Mrs. Bishop? So we're tied up? So I will vote aye. Do we have a 4-3 vote? Then we'll move on to the second item on the agenda, which is
Should be ashamed of themselves.
ordinance number 2018-12. It's ordinance amending chapter 11, section 11.802A, 1, 2, and 3 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Bowie, Texas, increasing sewer rates, adding the fee schedule for the sewer rates to Appendix C of the Bowie Code of Ordinance, providing a savings clause or repeal clause, and providing an effective date. Do we have discussion on this item?
So this is similar to the last one, is an increase in the burden on our citizens for no reason, other than, I guess, Bert's reason that he explained to me that I apparently didn't understand was that he needs to increase the rates so the rates are more in line with where they should be. What he never has said is that you can do that by offsetting that increase with a decrease in the electric. And he also has never said what the money has to go to that it wouldn't work for anyway. So what we're talking about here is a tax burden on our citizens with no financial justification. This is exactly what is wrong with government at every level, local, state, and national. And I'm embarrassed and ashamed I'm a part of it.
Craig, I disagree with you on the fact that we're going to use that money
How much money is it, Chuck?
to improve, I believe you came up with figures about $110,000.
No, it's not.
Well, it's not that much.
No. How much is it? How much is it, Bert? How much revenue are we talking about? And then and then somebody pays something what we're spending it for.
I think we're going to spend it to improve the infrastructure of the city, which has not been improved on in years and years. We're looking at doing it better and doing more of it than previous councils have done for years and years.
We already did that.
We've already heard all the arguments and all the testimony and all the evidence has been shown about what our infrastructure, what shape our infrastructure is in. This will give us even more money to improve that, hopefully improve everyone's lives, provide nice, better, clean water, better sewer, okay? And we're already giving a rather large decrease in electric charges to the citizens that will more than cover this slight increase. They will still have more money in their pockets at the end of the month than they had before. And I just, and this moves us in the direction that you agreed we wanted to go with trying to increase these rates in the tax rates.
I did.
And increase the electric rate. And we've done those things. We're just in agreement about this little bit
But
of
we
money.
halfway did it.
And I think we need it so that we can do even more than we would without.
What is the amount of money we're talking about?
On the sewer, it's $139,708.
So that comes out to roughly 0.8% of 1% of the total budget. So that's going to change the world right there. That money, now every street will be paved in gold because we raised $170,000.
It's going to change. It's going to change some more pipe. It's going to change some more sewer. Yes, sir.
Where you and I disagree is I don't believe you ought to go to the citizens for the money. Y'all ain't having business like you should. That's the whole reason why I was in support of the $2 million loan, so we could have the infrastructure to do those things.
Who's responsible for the life we live, Craig? Just some magic person out there that writes a big check, or all of us? We're responsible for making this city
I
what
guess
it
where
is.
you and I differ is I don't believe we should put our hand in the citizen's pocket. That's their money, it's not ours.
Craig, can I?
Yes, sir.
And this is not an argument, I'm just gonna tell you. As we go through this budget year, if I see that we don't need to borrow some of the money that we plan on borrowing because of this, because of that thing, I'm not gonna borrow it. This may reduce the amount of money that we have to borrow. We may be able to pay for it. You have to manage the thing as you go. A budget, for all of y'all that think this is etched in granite, it's not. It's just an estimate, an idea of what we're gonna do for the next year. If I manage it properly, we may not have to borrow $100,000, $200,000.
Yeah, but you're raising the rates anyways.
Right.
So you're getting more money from the people no matter what. Yeah, you might not need it all, but you're gonna get it.
Well, that's your way of looking at it. I have my,
That's not my way of looking at it, that's the facts.
no, that's not a fact.
If you raise these rates, you're getting money from the citizens, that's a fact, Bert.
That's true. That is, you're right there.
And it doesn't have to be done, it's not a necessity, so it's wrong. It's not our money, it's not the city's money, it's the people's money, and we're not talking about enough money here to make a significant difference in what we're doing. We're passing 17 million plus budget, and on top of that, a $2 million loan to make a difference in all things that Mr. Chuck wants to do. And I'm in agreement with all that. Where I stop is, I don't want to do it at the expense of the citizens any more than we have to. This rate increase is insignificant in the grand scheme of things, and I'm mad because of principle. And it doesn't matter if it's a little or a lot. There's two words for theft, grand and petty. Both of them are wrong.
So the thief now,
I didn't say that.
so we're gonna start talking to each other like they did?
No,
Are we
what
gonna,
I'm
are we
saying,
gonna have
Chuck,
a little decorum?
what I'm saying.
I didn't like that, Craig.
Well, here, let me say something to make you feel a little better.
Okay,
My analogy wasn't that we're stealing from the people. My analogy is that you can get a little and you can get a lot. It was the petty and the grand.
okay.
So whether it's a big tax or a big rate increase, or whether it's a little one, it's still wrong.
Does
So,
anybody else have an opinion on this one? Say anything else about it?
Well, I agree with Craig. Why?
We're trying to move over to make each department pay for itself. It's a model on its own that obviously Craig does not agree with.
no, I agree with that model. I came up with a way to achieve that model. I decided to take money from the citizens instead of reducing the electric. If you reduce the electric by the same amount, it's a net zero for the city. It doesn't cost the city anything. The only way this costs anybody something is by taking it from the citizens. And that's what's happening here. And the people that will hurt the most are the people that can afford it the least. So those in our community on a fixed income and the very poor in our community are going to get to bite the bullet harder than anybody else. That's why I'm against it. I would love to pass these rate increases, just not have it funded by the citizens. And I'm done talking.
Are we through with discussion? If we are, I'll close the discussion and we'll ask for a motion. One way or another.
Well, I've struggled with this all week. I want you to know I see both sides. I see where money needs to be set aside for future things for our city. I see where this is bad timing. We get a decrease and then we throw an increase. So I see both sides, but when you have to make a decision, then it became personal for me. Personal for me, businesses didn't get a rate on electric decrease. So then I got an increase on water and sewer. So for me, it was personal. My vote is no only because it's personal. I have two businesses that have the increase. So I don't agree with it. I think the timing is bad. I hope this won't go into effect until at least the decrease goes into effect, so we don't see one before the other. I don't know how that's structured. But I wanted you to know why I personally decided no.
I think it'd be great to hear from those people that decide yes, what they think about it.
Yes. You should have, yes.
I'll tell you what I think. I mean, we've had this discussion several times. I've asked Arlene several times in the past, what have we done to try to make our sewer pipes better in our deal? And they said they've always talked about it. We've never really made a decision to do anything on that. We've got pipes in our ground that are in the 1930s. We're trying to figure out a way in order for us to be able to have infrastructure, in order to continue to make our town better, because we're going to be able to put water and sewer, as insignificant as this amount is, as far as what we're going to get up front or anything like that, it's still going to be helpful, because to me, I don't think the timing's bad. I think the timing's good. You don't go into an economy that it starts going bad, and then you start having to go to the citizens and try to get more money from them. When it's good and things are better, that's the best time to do it. We did give a little on the discount of it, and this is the best time to do it in order for us to be able to. I mean, we're going to get complaints regardless, because if we don't fix streets, if we don't fix water leaks, everybody's posting on social media, none of the things are ever done. The only way to get those things done is to have the money in order to start. I think we're being very aggressive, and I think that we can make Bowie a better place to live. I think we can make our streets better. I think there's lots of things that we can do to make our towns better, but we can't do it by just getting by. So therefore, that's why I agree with the small increase that we're doing right now, just because I want to make Bowie's streets, water, sewer, and everything better in our community. And that's the reason
I
I
have
feel
a question for you. Then why did you tell me that you weren't going to vote yes, that you were going to vote no, that you 100% wholeheartedly agreed with Craig, and that you weren't going to vote yes? So when did your mind change, Terry?
Bert, do you mind if I show people this?
Yeah, that's correct.
I have a piece of water pipe that was taken out of existing water pipe in this town. I'd like for you to all take a look at it and see what we're trying to replace here. Come, pass it around. Have a look. This is where we're at. This is, that was directly due to no action in the past.
Was there no money for action, or was there just no action?
I wasn't here, Miss Christmas. I don't have any idea. I just know that this is what we're looking at.
Yeah, we get water out of that, we know.
Exactly where did that come from? What address?
Southside.
Where at? You got an address?
It out strong.
Where?
Is that the same pipe that was worked on last?
That's a water supply.
I'm sorry. I didn't
Was it
know.
water supply?
Within 2 weeks it was
But
worked.
I just thought it would be instrumental for you guys to see why I'm adamant that we need to do as much as we possibly can. Because we do continue to waste money by covering that pipe over with new pavement and then chopping it up, and you know what it's like after that. We're just throwing good money after bad when we do that. Let's be smart. Let's be smart. Let's replace everything we can now. I think we should be receiving, or the city should be receiving, enough goodwill over the coming decrease in electric rates. Okay? Compared to the minuscule amount of money, as Craig has put it, that we're going to get in raising these rates, okay? And see that we're really up here trying to make the city a better place to live. I'm serious. I don't want to take money out of your pockets.
You are.
That I don't need, that the city doesn't need. I want to make it a better place to live, truly, not just because you
Chuck,
keep going.
direct it towards Craig.
$663 is what we just paid for our electric bill. My husband is ready to leave and go back to his hometown,
If
where
your
it's normal.
electric bill go down in December.
Watch it, Craig.
Water will go away.
But yes, I'm sorry, but, you know, I think we need to do everything we can, Craig. Every little thing we can. And I think that the decrease in electric rates is gonna put more money in everyone's pocket. I'll say it again. Yes, this is gonna take a little bit more out, but they're still gonna have a lot more money off their electric bills. So, as Terry said, now's the time to strike and get these things done.
Well, I'd like to add this to it. Our last meeting, the council voted to go after $275,000 grant. Grant bank is free money that citizens does not have to pay back. And me and Barb went Thursday to Nortex. We're looking for every grant that we can apply for to get free money, if there's such a thing as free money. we're trying our best to apply for all these grants. We barely missed out last year. And we're in hopes that we'll get a free $275,000. This should help lower the amount that we should be able to bond or do additional work in the city.
So wouldn't that mean don't raise anything because you're gonna get free money?
Wayne? Are you through?
I guess so.
No.
And you may not like the way I'm conducting the meeting, but I'm trying to do, as Mr. Miller would like for us to do, hold an orderly meeting. So.
Yes,
council's not supposed to
I agree with that.
respond to you. So council, do we have any more discussion? If not, I call for a motion.
I make a motion that we accept this item.
Mr. Miller makes a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Gunner to accept. Mr. Bell?
Aye.
Mrs. Mills? Mr. Gunner?
Aye.
Mrs. Bishop? No. Mr. Stalka?
Nope.
Mr. Malone?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. Item 3 on your agenda, 1.3 is, was tabled last week, and so we have brought you what Ms. Bishop has asked for. So since it was tabled, should the council choose to do so, we can just let this one drop and move on to the next ordinance for the budget. All right, then let's go into new business. We'll let that one drop.
Arlene, you did get a copy of the budget.
Yes. Okay. We'll read you the new ordinance. Ordinance 2018-13, adopting an annual budget for the city of Bowie for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2018, and ending September 30th, 2019, adopting a reference document as budget and establishing appropriations for the various activities and functions of the city, establishing an effective date, and repealing all ordinances and regulations in conflict herewith. You see the numbers there, and you've all received your new budget. So if there's no discussion, I'll call for a motion.
I'll have some discussion.
Okay?
I think it's a good budget. I think it's a bold budget. Everything about it, the fact that it is $17+ million, I think that there's a lot of things that we can do for the city that helps the people at large. The $2 million loan, I think, was a good idea to address the lift station and the sewer and water pipes, to get the streets ready to do major repairs, so it will make a difference in the future. The only part I'm ashamed about is raising the rates and putting that burden on the citizens. Ronald Reagan's turning it over in his grave tonight. I'll vote for this budget because it's the right thing for the city, but it's also the first time I've been ashamed to be on the council.
I disagree. I agree somewhat, but I disagree with it being a good thing to borrow the $2 million for what we borrowed the $2 million for. I disagree.
You don't think we should fix the sewer and the water?
I wasn't disagreeing. You know that I've always said that part I agree with. But what I did not agree with was the vehicles. I just don't think that's good.
Well, see, I think that the most efficient way for the city departments to manage those projects, I think we needed the heavy equipment. We absolutely had to have that. If we hired that work out, it would have cost the citizens a lot more money. And I'm not for that. I think we could have accomplished all this without raising those rates. But other than that, I think all the other stuff was good. I do think it is a bold budget. It's something that hasn't been done here in decades. And I think it will result in a much better place. I think Mr. Wall's right. We need to make a bold strike.
And like I said, in 6 months, 8 months, let's see what we've got done. Because I hope you can prove me wrong, and I hope you come back and go, oh, man.
I agree with Councilwoman Bishop. We need to hold Burke's feet to the fire, make sure it's happening. You're absolutely right. We are spending a lot of money, and we're asking the citizens for a little more on the water and sewer rate too. So yes, absolutely, we must get what we're asking the people to pay for, without a doubt, or else all this has been for nothing.
Well, this is the best way to have some accountability right here. Boys here that we don't have the machinery and things to get things done, there's definitely a measuring tape right here that we can use in order to see what we're accomplishing in our city.
And I, for one, will ask Bert on a regular basis, where are we at? Do you have a few minutes to go look at it? I want to see it. And I think Terry, Craig, and Wayne, and these two fine ladies here would be willing to do the same thing. And I know Bert will get down and go down and show us. It's not going to be easy, but it can be done, and we will have a better city when we're finished.
Any other discussion? I'll ask for a motion to approve the budget.
I make a motion to approve the budget.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Stalker?
Aye.
Mr. Malone? Mr. Bell?
Aye.
Mrs. Mills?
Aye.
Mr. Gunner?
Aye.
Mrs. Bishop? No. 5-1. That's the budget. Now I will adjourn the meeting at 5:35.
I don't have it in my soul to sit through another one of these.
Did I?